Hey everybody, welcome back to FSP Forex Stock Predictions. Hope you are all having a great day. I am the Vortex Trader, and today we are continuing with our video series on support and resistance. This will be video number 6 in the series. If you did not catch video number 5, I'm going to link it up above at the top of your screen in the right hand corner. Please check it out. Today's video is going to be super interesting as we start to move in a sort of trending direction with support and resistance to show how trend forms, okay, and understanding trend lines and what is consolidation, right? I'm the Vortex Trader. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into the information for today. So, do support and resistance levels have to be straight, right? Here is an example of support levels and resistance levels that are straight, right? In a perfect horizontal channel, right? Parallel lines. Yes? Okay, they do not have to be like this all the time. Okay, they can be at an angle, right? Support and resistance can travel whichever way it wants. It doesn't have to be at a horizontal line like this, right? It can go like this also at about a 45-degree angle. All right? Anyway, up or down. Okay, and we're going to see that right now. So let's move this down a bit. Now I've pre-drawn these patterns out for you just so I can show you what markets look like when they trend. Now you've heard the word trend, right? Trend means when the market is moving in a certain direction that isn't horizontal. Okay? It's not horizontal lines. Okay? They are moving either up or they're moving down. Now for example, let's look at this one, right? We can see that this is clearly a market that is moving up, right? Why? Because we can see higher highs and higher lows over time. The market keeps making higher highs and higher lows, right? Now, this would be considered a trending bull market, right? And if we had to line up the tops and the bottom of this chart, we would see that we have resistance at the top, just like we would if it was horizontal, perfectly flat, right? And we have support at the bottom. Do you see this? Right. You see how price respects support, comes up to resistance, just like we would in the ranging example. Bounces off resistance, comes back down to support, heads up to resistance, bounces off, heads back down to support, bounces up, heads back up to resistance, bounces off and heads back down to support. This bottom area is our support zone as usual, and the top area is our resistance zone as usual. The only difference is that the market is no longer flat and ranging in a horizontal direction. It is now moving up. All right, and we can say the exact same thing when markets come down. When markets are trending lower, we see lower lows and lower highs over time. The market is moving in a lower direction, making lower lows and lower highs. And we can see when we line up these tops and the bottoms, we can see clearly that we have support and resistance because we have the market tapping both sides of the channel, right? We have support, we have resistance, market bounces off of resistance, right? Then trends lower, hits support again, bounces off of support, heads up towards resistance, bounces off of resistance, heads down towards support. Nothing has changed from this example right here. It's the exact same thing, except it is now moving at an angle, right? It's moving up, or it's moving down, or it's going sideways. Now, the words that we use as traders when this is happening, right? When we see a market doing this, we know that it is trending. Okay, support and resistance still stands exactly how we've learned it. When we see a market doing this, it's trending lower. When we see a market doing this, it's trending higher. Okay? When we see a market doing this, it's ranging. It's just ranging. Okay? That's all there is to it, guys. So, Let's bring this back into view. So, do support and resistance level have to be straight? No. No, they do not. Okay, they do not have to be straight in the sense that they have to be perfectly horizontal. No, they can work at an angle. Okay, does support and resistance show trend? Yes, it does. We've seen that right here. Let's bring this back into view. We've seen this right here. When markets trend, we've seen them go up and we've seen them go down. Okay, now understanding trend lines. Okay, these lines that we draw at the bottom of the support zones and at the top of the resistance zones are called trend lines. All right, this is an ascending trend line. Why? Because the line is following the trend of the market. Okay, yes, it is acting as a support line as well, right? But the fundamental name behind it is a trend line because we're simply following the trend. We see this when we're trending lower as well. This line at the bottom, which is following support, okay, or even resistance, are called trend lines because they are following the trend and they are acting as support and resistance, but fundamentally known as trend lines. Do you see how this starts to fit together, guys? All right. Understanding consolidation and range. Well, when prices move up in a certain direction, right, there has to be a pullback. There has to be a pullback. They cannot just move up like this without coming back down. That isn't how markets work. They have to cool off. And while they are cooling off, we call this consolidating. All right, so we have that example right here in our trending market. Markets move up, then they consolidate. Now, what's interesting is that within a consolidation, a consolidation can either be flat like this, right? It can consolidate and range before carrying on its move upwards or downwards. But within a consolidation like this, we could get support and resistance zones as well. All right, we could get a zone just like this within a zone like this that follows two trend lines where the candles are bouncing off of each other. Small little candles bouncing off of each other before continuing upwards. So when we say price is consolidating, we just mean it's cooling off, right? It's cooling off from a previous move. It's ranging, it's range bound, just like this. Okay, range bound in a horizontal flat direction or range bound in a trending direction. Either way, it's consolidating before a further move up or down. So we have a big impulsive move, we consolidate. We have a big impulsive move, we consolidate. We have a big impulsive move, we consolidate. Right? Markets cool off before we have the time to break away and make another higher high. It takes energy for the markets to keep trending upwards or downwards. And conversely, we see the same thing in a trending lower downwards market. Markets, a sharp move south, right? And we consolidate and we cool off. Then another move down, we consolidate and cool off. Then another move down. Okay, this is how we consolidate. And we can see this all within our trend lines. A trend line at the top of resistance and a trend line at the bottom for support. All right, so we know now that we can have support and resistance at all different types of angles. Okay, and support and resistance does indeed show trend. It shows us if the market is moving higher, and it shows us if the market is moving lower. Okay, now just for an example, let us just click to gold for a second. Right, you can see I have these resistance and support zones marked up. I'm just going to quickly see if we can find, there we go, perfectly. Here is a great example to show you guys. So let me just erase. Right, so these examples were examples of flat support and resistance, right? We learned this. Horizontal, flat, right? Let's delete them. Now we have to train our eyes to see something different, right? We have to see the same thing, but we see it in a trending direction. Do you see that? Do you see how support price came down, bounced off this area here, which became a support zone, came back up, bounced off this area here, which became a support zone, bounced back up, now currently hanging around this area, which is, this area is a support zone. Do you see how that works? We can put the resistance one on top as well. Look how that lines up. You see? We have support at the bottom and resistance on top. See, so price sort of falls within a channel, yet this is still support and this is still resistance, right? Let's see if we can find another one. There is one right here, right next to it. I'm going to use this channel tool. This is going to make it easier. Look at the resistance compared to the support. Right, let's delete this one for a second. Okay. Right, look within the green channel, guys. This is a market that is trending lower. Clearly seen trending lower. Okay. We had price make a move downwards before retracing upwards, right? Coming back down to touch the support zone before retracing or consolidating back up to the resistance zone. Coming back down, touching the support 3 times before heading back up to resistance and breaking away from it only then. So do you see, support and resistance does not have to be flat. It shows us markets that are trending as well. Let's see if we can find another one, a nice clear example. Remember, price isn't always beautifully picture perfect, textbook perfect like our images above. They can be a little choppy and messy sometimes, and that is actually the point, right? That is actually the point. Let's see if this is one. Check this out. We have price moving upwards, right? Touching and respecting support at an angle. Right, support, 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 support before we broke away. And at the top, we got resistance, which we can put like this. Do you see how price respected the resistance? Resistance, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap before breaking away. You see, so these patterns are everywhere, all the time, everywhere. Now, this occurs across all the markets and all the time frames, right? Markets trend lower and trend higher. That's how we gain new ground. Okay, this is how we trend into the sky or trend back into the ground, depending if we're in a bull market or a bear market. But the point is that we do trend, right? And we don't always have to move at a perfect 45-degree angle. We can see price trend, cool off and trend some more at an even steeper angle, right? So you have to learn to train your eyes to start spotting these trending markets. I mean, we can see that here, price is making higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? And we can clearly see that, I mean, our taps may not be perfect, but these are areas of support because we are seeing price respect them. We can see we have a tap here, 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 right? We have a tap here where the candle actually closed above. I mean, this is a support line, guys. Okay. And we can say the same up above. Where there is support, we got resistance, right? Here is resistance, right up above. Right? Resistance, 1 tap, support. Tap, resistance, tap, resistance, tap, support. Tap, resistance, tap, resistance, tap, resistance, tap, support. Okay. So the whole point of this video is to help you guys understand that we have support and resistance in markets that range flat, right, and horizontal, like right here. Look where my cursor is. Perfect example of support. And we have markets that trend upwards. And support and resistance show the trend clearly. They help us identify the movement of these candles and the direction that these candles are traveling in. Okay, guys, so Start having a look at your charts. See if you can spot these areas for yourself. They are great ways to learn. They help our eyes get used to the idea of seeing markets that trend and spotting support and resistance zones within these trending markets. And once we see it, look how clearly and nicely these patterns fit together. This all helps us within our trading because we can see what the direction of the market is. You see, so guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I am going to wrap this thing up. Thank you all again for watching. I hope this has helped make these ideas clearer to you inside of your minds, right? It can be confusing at first, but I promise you, with practice and patience and a little bit of dedication, you're going to start understanding these concepts perfectly, and they are going to help you immensely with your trading journey. All right, let's wrap it up. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, and I will be seeing you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you later.